Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I will go through all of the WIPs I'll be taking with me into 2026. Hello, I am so glad you could join me once again. My name is Ellie and I have a huge pile of WIPs by my side I will go through with you because I will take in most of them with me into the new year. Today I wanted to be really cozy, so I dug out this gorgeous sweater I made a few years ago. It is a My Favorite Things knitwear pattern. I'm absolutely in love with it and it keeps me super warm and cozy, also because it's so oversized. So I thought it would just be the perfect thing to wear for this video. So grab your knitting, a cup of tea, coffee, whatever you like to drink, because this one is going to take a while. I have a lot of long-term WIPs in here, things I have started in 2023, in 2024, so maybe not 23, but 24 and 25 definitely. So we will be here for a while, but I think we should just start with whatever is in this basket. On here are some of my most recent WIPs, quite a lot of them actually, so you will see some newer things and then we'll get into the really old stuff. The first thing that I actually am knitting on at the moment is the Kilometer Scarf by Florence Miller. The yarn is just flowing and floating around everywhere. This is a free pattern on Ravelry. I really like Florence's writing style. I've made one other project from her before and this is what it looks like. I started this in November, I think, and I'm making this for my boyfriend. It is actually a gift knit. I really hope he's not watching this video because he likes to watch my videos, but this is definitely something that I will be taking with me because I just didn't manage to make it in time for Christmas. I had troubles with the yarn delivery. Go and check out my latest podcast if you want to know what happened. This is something that I will finish really soon. So yeah, I don't have anything else to say with this one. The next thing that I also am working on at the moment, and I have picked back up, is my Dagmar jacket by Petite Knit. I don't even know when I started this. Was it July? Was it later? I have no idea. This is where I am at the moment. I really enjoy this pattern. It's just now the rows are super long that I lost motivation on it. I have this much done on the body, so quite a way to go still. I'm making this in Laniato yarn, 100% merino yarn in this off-white. It is a German brand, so I won't say too many things about it. And yeah, I'm really happy with how this is turning out. I'm making size 3. It's a bit of a slog to be honest, but I've picked this one back up again, and even if I just like extend it or like knit 1 or 2 rows a day in the evenings on it, that's still progress. So it's not forgotten or anything, it's just a really involving knit stuff. Sometimes I just don't have the brain space for it. That is WIP number 2. Now I took out some like smaller bags. I knit these, I sewed these myself from leftovers from some dresses, and this is a gorgeous fabric that I got when I was in England, and I have my beautiful pins on it from Cambridge because I bought this fabric in Cambridge. Anyways, so in here it's just not an active WIP. Some needles, these are still some leftovers from my leftovers. I made a few December bows in the Christmas period leading up to Christmas because I wanted to get rid of some of my scraps, and that is all I have left. I don't know if I will make another bow or if, I don't know, I make something else. So there is no active WIP in here, just some needles which I actually need to take out in case I need them for my next project. Then we have something in here that has been in this bag for a while. This is a sock. I wanted to make this pair for Christmas. Obviously it's still not done. It is a men's pair of socks. I'm making size 47, so it is a slog, and I'm not a huge sock knitting fan anyways. I just really lost motivation on it. I started them in August, I still remember, because I went on holidays just a few days after and I wanted something to bring with me on that holiday. I then left them at home because I kind of realized I wouldn't have time to work on them anyways. So this is how far I've gotten. I already have the heel flap and gusset. It's just a normal pair of vanilla socks with a rib pattern. I made a 2x1 rib on the cuff because I wanted a better fit, since they are gift. This is a gift knit and I really want them to fit nicely. I didn't extend the rib on the bottom of the foot, it's just plain stockinette. I'm still on the first sock. I keep losing the label from this yarn and I keep finding it, and then I'm thinking I have to use the label and put it on, and then I just forget about it again. This is online yarn. It is a beautiful tweed yarn. I've never worked with this brand before. It's just a very standard sock yarn with some really fun speckles. I don't think I will finish them anytime soon. I was also considering unraveling them and then making a pair of socks holding the yarn double, so it's a DK weight sock since this is fingering. But seeing as I've already done so much of this sock, I don't think I have that much left. I have a sock ruler which you just put into the heel and then you measure. So I don't know, this will be a WIP that's going to be put on hold, as it already is, for a little while longer. I have my Aurora dress in here. This is a pattern by Sari Nordland. I made this over summer. It was a really fun knit to make, and fairly quickly for me as well. I loved working with the yarn. This is Pascali Sole in this really nice purple yarn, or purple color should I say. The only thing that's missing is I still need to sew down the hem because I ran out of yarn. I knew that when I started this project I wouldn't have enough yarn. I still need to do that, that's why it's still in this basket. But it is finished, it's fully functioning. I still need to block it and stretch it out to make it a bit longer because it is on the shorter side. But apart from that, it's fully done, so I just need to get around to doing that. Now we're getting into the long-term WIPs. Something, my gosh, I don't even remember when I started this project, and I don't want to undo it because I still want to have the finished sweater, but I just cannot be asked to work on it because it's been so long and I don't like reading back on patterns. This is the Pippin sweater by the Knit Pearl Girl. Sophie, she did a beautiful job of this sweater. It's really nice, stretchy, thick, long, ribbed collar. And I am not done with the first sleeve. I still have a little bit to go. I can't remember what size I'm making. I know the sleeves you do have decreases, but it's not as quick as I thought it would be. You use a, is it sand or seed stitch? I can never remember. But it's a gorgeous textured sweater, and I don't want to undo it because I still want it, but I just don't want to work on it. With all of my long-term WIPs, I put a little tag on to know what needle size I need to use, because obviously I'm just putting them on some like barber cords because I need the needles. I actually need to take these ones out because I need them for some other sleeves. You work on 4mm needles, and I'm using Drops Daisy in the color number 2. I believe it's called Marzipan. It's a really nice off-white. It's not as dark, it's like a beige, so it's a really good in-between, and I think it will look gorgeous, and I know I will use it a lot and wear it a lot because it's a neutral color. Like I said, I just can't be bothered to work on it right now. I think what I need to do is I need to reduce the WIP amount so I have a lot more brain space, and then get back on the bigger projects, like finish a lot of small things to then start again on the big things. I don't know if that will help, but it's just the best approach I can come up with right now. We are still some more things in this basket. Yes. Another pouch that I made with some more pins I got from England. This is another sock. I just like casting on socks, and then I don't want to work on them anymore, so they just become long-term WIPs. This is a sock tube I'm making. This is 100% alpaca. Is it 100%? I don't know. Also for this one I have the label somewhere and I don't know where it is. It is self-striping yarn. It is alpaca yarn from Apocontour. I used up one ball of this for another pair of socks. I really like those socks. They are lace socks. And then I wanted to get this one out of my stash as well. So the plan with this one is I just want to knit up the whole ball and then go back and put in the heel and the toes. I've never made these kind of socks before. I've always made vanilla socks with a heel flap and gusset. So that's just something fun to try. I'm hoping it will work out and that they will fit relatively well. I have no idea, but I'm making a 2x2 rib, I think. 2x1 rib. So it does have some stretch. I think it's a really nice texture that you get. I didn't want to put anything else in it because the stripes could like distort a pattern, but I still have a long way to go. I'm using my 2.5mm round needles. They are plastic ones. I bought them also in England because I wasn't sure if I was able to take the metal ones back on my flight, so I just bought the plastic ones. Don't even know what brand it is anymore. But yeah, this is also another long-term WIP that will stay in this bag for a while longer. As you can tell, I keep casting on socks and then not finishing them. That's just the way I am. I'm not a huge sock knitter, but I want to make socks, which is very ironic. And then the second to last thing in this basket is another long-term WIP, but it is a cardigan. I'm just gonna tell you what it is. It is a cardigan. I can't remember the name, by Irene Lynn, I think the design is called. It's a lace cardigan, beautiful design with some cables on here. I finished the increases along the neck and I've already joined under the armholes. So it's just the body and the sleeves, and I'm saying just as if that's not enough to work on. It is so beautiful. I know it's very scrunched up and I haven't blocked any of it. But this is what the back looks like. Oh, I want this. I keep coming back to it in summer because it's a summer yarn that I'm using. I'm using Drops cotton merino, I think, in this beige colour. I don't know what size I'm making, and I also have not put like a tag on it what needle size I need. I think 4mm needles. I know I have notes for this one on my Ravelry page, so I can go back to that, but no idea. It's just a very involved knit, which is why I don't want to work on it a lot of the times, because you need the chart. It's not as if you would just... It's not that every single row is different, but you need a chart, especially for those... The cables are fine, it's those flowery, like lacy bits. That's what I need the chart for, because I haven't memorized it yet. So it's gonna live in this bag also a little bit longer. I hope I can finish it this year. I'm not making any promises or like anything like that to myself, because I know I cast this on 2 years ago almost now. So we will see. My WIPs are piling up on my side. I have so much stuff in this basket, so much like random stuff. Oh, there is a tag from the blue socks. It's online line 3 super sock 100 tweed with 70% wool, 25% polyamide, and 5% viscose. That's why I was drawn to it. This is the label. Should put it in with my sock. And there is my sock. See, I told you I had it somewhere. Right. The last WIP that I have in this basket, apart from like lots and lots of stitch markers and like bags with more notions, is a sock tube that I have actually finished, but I need to put in the rest. This is a Marvelie sock yarn, a Christmas edition I bought 3 years ago maybe. I started on the cuff and then I knit it, and then I stopped somewhere along the way. This is actually the right way. Then I stopped and then I came back to it because I really wanted to use up the scraps. The issue though is, because I started it a long time ago, my gauge has changed, and you can see that in the sock that the first part is a lot wider. Here it's a lot wider than the rest of, or like the majority of the sock, or like sock tube, I guess. And because I've never done a like afterthought heel, or I don't really know what else you can make. I've not really read through anything, to be honest. I just wanted to use up the yarn and thought making a sock tube might be the easiest way. I've not finished it. I will have to come back to it. I'm not even sure what size I made, if I made it my size or a bigger size. I have no idea. And the ironic thing is that I still have some yarn of this left over, because I forgot that I actually split the ball into two, and I just used up one of the leftovers from the two splits. So here we are. Right, so those were all of the WIPs in the basket. If you thought I was done, no, I have some more, like I said, floating around. Let's put all of this back in here, apart from the needles. generally I am a very organized person, and I'm a stickler for like charts and having everything in one place and those kind of things. Why is this now wrapped around here? But for some reason with these WIPs and this basket, I just keep throwing things in it and not really clearing anything out. So that's how I guess I got into this mess. And then I have 2 more project bags with WIPs. I know what's in this one. I have an idea of what's in this one, and I'm not happy to go through this one. In this project bag I have the sibling sweater by the Knit Pearl Girl in the adult size. I started this project in February 25, I think, and it just reminded me of Kinder Chocolate, and I had so much fun working on it. But then I got into a knitting slump. I didn't have time anymore to really work on it. I put my focus into it, and I've just not come back ever since. But I do want to finish this one fairly soon as well, because it's just gorgeous. It's so nice. I don't know what size I'm making. I have finished the body. I bound off the body very recently with an Italian bind off, and it's so nice. It's just I need to put in the collar, and I think once I do that, it will give me back the motivation that I need to work on the sleeves. This is the back, which is just the most incredible detail on the shoulder, which is why I wanted to make this, because it just looks really, really cool. The yarn I'm using is Peruvian Highland Wool by Filcolana. It's 100% wool in the off-white colour 101 and this really nice chocolate colour. I don't have the brown with me right now, so yeah. Another WIP, another big sweater WIP. I just can't be bothered to work on right now, but like I said, I might even come back to this one sooner than the Pippin sweater. So it will keep living in this petite knit project bag, which I just absolutely love, and we'll come back to it when I feel like it. And then these are some really old WIPs. This one isn't. This one is a summer knit I started last summer. This is it's by Gregoria Fibers, and it's the like Ingrid summer sweater or something along those lines. I started this, I had a lot of fun making it. I have a mistake in it on the back panel, and I don't want to go back and try and fix it, but I know it's there. I already joined the front bits. I think what is left now is either knitting to the length of the back and then joining, or already joining. I don't quite know right now. I don't know what size I'm making. I think the smallest size, because it has a lot of ease. It's a beautiful eyelet pattern. I really like it. I'm super into drop shoulders at the moment, which is very unusual for me, because these are some really big oversized sweaters, and I like a more fitted fit mostly. But yeah, I had a lot of fun making this. The mistake that I mentioned is on the back, on the very first row, where I didn't do a pearl ridge before the eyelets, so you can see that it's not the same. But like I said, I'm not going back on it. You need needle size 3.5, and I'm using some drops. What's it called? It's the linen base, where you have cotton and linen in it, in this really nice light beige color. I think it will be a nice summer sweater. And yeah, I will finish this in summer when I feel like working on non-woolly things. So this one will also get finished. This one is, it's my problem child, let's put it that way. It's the Colette, I think it's called, Colette sweater by Sari Nordland. I started this 2 years ago, I think. And I finished one sleeve and I finished the body. It's just the second sleeve is missing. And I showed this last year. And I promised myself I would finish it this year, but I obviously didn't. So I'll just have to take it with me for 26. I don't want to undo it because I put so much work into this. It's a gorgeous pattern. You have these really nice cables and then an eyelet row with some pearl bumps. But it was such a pain to make the cables because I just didn't like working with the yarn that I used. The yarn I'm using is Biche Bouche Le Petit Lamb's wool, and the mohair in this really nice grey beige is the colour. I really wanted to try out this yarn. I heard so many things about Biche Bouche, but it's very like, when I worked with it, it dug into my finger so much that it really hurt. It's just the way I'm using the yarn, the way I'm holding the yarn, that I just didn't want to work on it because I knew it would hurt me. So like I said, I finished one sleeve. I think I steam blocked the body just to see size wise where we're at. I made the smallest size, and back then when I tried it on, it was too small. It just was, and I didn't enjoy the fit, and that made me want to work on it even less. So maybe with a proper wet block it would fix it once I have the second sleeve. I don't know. I have absolutely no ambitions to work on this right now. This one definitely will be a WIP for many years. I know I have to get back to it because it's beautiful, but I also don't want to work on it, but I also don't want to undo it. So that's why I'm stuck where I am right now. And then another WIP that has been shoved into the bottom of this project bag is a summer knit. I made this pattern before and I usually never go back to the same pattern twice. I like to make things once, and if they don't fit, that's a problem for someone else. This is a pattern by Iris Makes. Iris has some really nice summer knits, and this is actually the first thing that I made that had lace on it. That was my introduction into lace work, not this particularly, but the first version I made. It is a summer top. I finished, so you knit it bottom up. I finished the back and then I split it. This is the back. I split for the front and back, so you then join it again on the shoulder seam. But because you're working flat and I don't enjoy working flat, I didn't want to work on it anymore. I think for this version I wanted to make it longer. I loved the first shirt so much that I wore it so many times in summer, but the armholes were always too tight and it would get like all of the deodorant stuff would collect. You would collect the whole like stuff that's going on under your armpits in the yarn itself, which is why I wanted a second version where it's a bit drapier, a bit flowier and not so tight on the armholes, which is why this is the way it is. I used the same yarn. This is drops saffron in a really nice chocolate brown. My first version is a light beige, but I don't know if I want to finish this, to be honest. Not only because this has been on my needles, on my, like, in my WIP bag for so long, but also because I realized I don't enjoy making and wearing summer knits. I'm not a summer knit person. I made a few t-shirts, a few like tank tops, etc., but I never wear them. They're not practical to me, so I'm debating to unravel this and just reusing the yarn for something else. So this gets shoved back into the bottom of this bag and not looked at for probably another year. So these were all of my WIPs. I realized I had more than I thought I did, which is not a great thing to have, because now it makes me feel overwhelmed. But there are a few shiners and stunners in there that I really want to finish, and I will put my focus back on them as well. So I'm really glad that I did that. Let me know in the comments if you feel overwhelmed with your WIPs, or if you just enjoy working on all of the things you do at the moment. As you can tell, I am not a monogamous knitter. I like to have a few things on my needles on the go, also because once I want to make something a bit more complex, and then another day I might want to make something simpler. So that's just a really good balance for me to have. So yeah, let's have a little conversation in the comments. Tell me about your projects, how they are going, and I wish you all a great start into 2026 and happy knitting. Bye!